Good morning, friends. Today we are starting with principles of management. Under this point, we are going to learn a Taylor's theory, Henry Fayol's theory, Elton Mayo's theory, administration and management, nature of management, levels of management, scientific management, and management rules. Out of this, there will be a question on F.W. Taylor's method, like discuss four major principles distinguished by F.W. Taylor in management field. Explain the F.W. Taylor's theory of management. How does it differ from Henry Fayol's general theory of management? Then another question may arise on this particular point is that what is organizational behavior approach in management? Elaborate the concept organization as open system. Next question will be like this: what is scientific management? Discuss the major principles governing scientific management as defined by F.W. Taylor. Now we understand that Taylor's method is a scientific method that has been developed during 1880 to 1890s. Now what Taylor have suggested? F.W. Taylor is a managing director of a steel industry during 1880 to 1890. Scientific management is a theory of management that analyzes and synthesizes flows. It maintains a healthy relation among workforce and management. Its main objective is improving economic efficiency, especially labor productivity. It is one of the earliest attempts to apply science to the engineering of processes and to management. Its development began when Frederick Wilson Taylor during 1880 and 1990 was a manufacturing industry's head. The core idea of scientific management were developed by Taylor and was first published in his book Shop Management and the Principle of Scientific Management. He was one of the first people to try to apply science to understanding why and how these differences existed and how best practices could be analyzed and synthesized, then propagated to the other workers via standardization of process steps. He believed that decisions based upon tradition and rules of thumb should be replaced by precise procedures developed after careful study of an individual at work, including time and motion studies, which would tend to discover or synthesize the one best way to do any given task. He observed that most workers who are forced to perform repetitive tasks tend to work at the slowest rate that goes unpunished. Taylor observed that when paid the same amount, workers will tend to do the amount of work that the slowest among them does. This reflects the idea that workers have a vested interest in their own well-being and do not benefit from working above the defined rate of work when it will not increase their remuneration. Crucially, Taylor himself prominently acknowledged that if each employee's compensation was linked to their output, their productivity would go up. Thus, his compensation plans usually included piece rates. For example, by observing workers, he decided that labor should include a piece rate and he would give an appreciation if he works above a standard level. Suppose his target is 100 pieces per day and he produces 110, then his appreciation for 10 pieces will increase his productivity. The second thing that he observed, that labor should include rest breaks so that the worker has time to recover from fatigue, either physical or mental. Workers were taught to take more rest during work, and as a result, production increased. He developed 8 principles of scientific management. That first one is time and motion study. Second one is application of science and eliminate of the rule of thumb. Third one, differential payment. Fourth one, cooperation between workers and management. Fifth one, group harmony. Sixth one, methods of study. Seventh one, scientific training. And eighth one is standardization. First principle of scientific management, on which basis he studied, is time and motion study. A time and motion study have seen earlier that various workers at their work and studied their movement while performing their daily routine. After sufficient observation, he concluded that some of their movements were uncalled or unnecessary and took away quite some time and energy from them, and if these movements were avoided, the performance of the output would go up. Observing the motion and workers while they are working on a particular operation, he identified the necessary and unnecessary movements while working. He eliminated the unnecessary movements. He developed the movements that are necessary and standardized them, which has reflected into increase in production. Second one is application of science and eliminate of the rule of thumb. A tailor observed that through rule of thumb is not sufficient and it should be bypassed. It should be replaced with science and scientific study and management. Third one is differential payment. Taylor proposed the setting up of differential piece rate system of payment, which meant the setting up of following steps. First step is fix the standard level of production. Second one is workers product producing less than the standard rate will receive less payment, and who will go above standard level will get additional appreciation or rate of rewards. That is what differential piece rate payment. It has motivated workers to perform better than the standard set. Fourth principle is cooperation between workers and management. According to Taylor, scientific management study, it is very essential to establish cooperation between workers and management. The workers should understand the point of view of the management in increasing the production and profitability of the company. The management on its part should understand the needs of the workers and meet their needs from time to time. Fifth principle of management, according to Taylor, is group harmony. It is very essential to have a group coordination. Various activities in manufacturing are group activities, and this requires harmonious relationship within the group. A group should be of two or more workers. Taylor advocates group harmony by eliminating the dissatisfaction among the workers and maintaining cordial relations. This will help in improving the production and the profits of the company. Sixth principle is method study. The movement of material within the company should also be scientifically done to ensure that production is not halted. For want of material, this means that layout of the plant should be done properly and should ensure fast movement of material, less transportation by reduction in the distance from one point to another. He developed a method on shop floor. He concentrated a method on shop floor. He had not concentrated on managerial skills and flow from top to bottom. Rather, he developed a study method on the shop floor itself. Seventh principle, according to Taylor, is scientific training to staff. Taylor proposed that the appropriate man should be used for the job, and this means that selection and training should be done scientifically after analyzing the requirements of the job and then comparing them with the skills and qualities of the workers. This helps the management in utilizing the skills of employee to the fullest. So every employee should be trained scientifically. The production will automatically increase. The person at particular point should be trained scientifically and with the fullest capacity. Will give more output. Eighth principle of is standardization. Taylor advocated the standardization of tools, equipment, instrumentation, workers, man, machine, manpower, working hours, and every condition that will reflect directly into productions. He also developed a standardized method for production. The criticism of scientific management according as per Taylor's theory. Actually, there are some drawbacks in Taylor's method. Which are these drawbacks? Let us see. Taylor looked only into production function, totally overlooking the other function like finance, marketing, personnel, thus spreading a very wrong message within the company. Union leaders felt that it was an exploitation of the workers. Differential payment was not accepted and was also not easy to understand. In addition, there were so many variables that would affect the production which were not in the purview of the workers. So workers were unhappy due to this Taylor's method. Third criticism or disadvantage of scientific management is the morale of the worker who could not meet his target or the standard set would go down and would affect his working further. Fifth one is Taylor did not consider the human element, which is very crucial in the whole equation. Though Taylor is called father of scientific management, but it has certain disadvantages that we have studied. Next part, to reduce Taylor's disadvantage, will be studied later on.